Arachno Romance is the first episode to put some weight on the professor. Well, at least in a sense. He is central to the plot of the episode, sort of, and hey! He does something other than being a dad, so let's just see what happens. So the girls are getting ready for family movie night, and the professor brought his new girlfriend. And thus we meet the, villain of the episode? Sure. Allow me to introduce someone whose name I can't even spell, so I'm not even going to try. She talks way too much, she studies spiders, and she is secretly a spider monster, so, yeah. She does things to annoy the girls throughout the movie night. And I'd like to note that the only one of the girls who isn't being a giant baby about all this is Buttercup. Because, seriously, spoiling the end of the movie? That is a massive dick move. She has to leave prematurely, and almost as soon as she leaves, the girls get called into action. I wonder what the emergency could... Oh, look! Giant spider! This episode doesn't really have that much going for it yet. The girls hit the spider, and Dr. Girlfriend is by the crater they made. I wonder what she's doing. She studies spiders. Oh, well, in that case, yeah, I guess there's really no reason to think anything could be out of the ordinary. She goes the wrong way to buy discount meat or some shit. By now, the audience should probably already know that she's the spider, unless they're, like, about the same age the girls are supposed to be. The girls get suspicious of Seducer 2.0 and send an email to get her to break up with him. It works. Well, okay, not really. That's actually kind of one of the things in this episode that I think they did pretty cleverly. But first I want to point out something that bugged me about this episode. During the action scenes, the lighting seems to randomly change for no reason. Which is really the only way I know how to describe the issue. Again, it really only happens when there's a whole lot of movement, but if anyone else has watched this episode and not experienced what I'm experiencing, please let me know. Just know that that is actually the way that I saw the episode the first time. So again, it may not be something that's actually there when it was aired on television or something like that, but that doesn't mean it's not incredibly distracting. The girls see how sad the professor is after the breakup and decide to try to go and convince Supper to get back with him. Just gonna leave this face on screen for a second. Oh, look, she's a giant spider! Who could have ever predicted? And the thing they did that's a little bit clever, I'm gonna bring that up now. See, normally, with a plot like this, it would be one of two things. Either the letter doesn't work and some sort of prank gets pulled on the perpetrator in order to teach them a lesson, or it does work and the perpetrator feels guilty and they try to fix it. This show managed to pull off both. The breakup was actually because she's a giant fucking spider, but because of the timing, the girls thought they did it and felt guilty about it. I gotta say, this worked pretty well. In fact, I would say that right about here, we kind of reach the turning point where things get a little bit less predictable. Unfortunately, though, the rest of the unpredictability in the episode, at least to me, comes across for the worse. The girls fight the giant spider while expressing how much they respect it as a person. Actually, wait, hold on, I missed a gag.
If this is what love is, count me out.
Okay, continue. And the professor finds out that she's a giant fucking spider and is actually pretty cool with it. So you'd think they're a couple now, right? Yeah, no. Turns out the trigger that turns her into a spider is love, so why the fuck are you dating anyone? Seriously, why would you agree to be romantically involved with someone if the thing that you don't want to happen is caused by romantic feelings? This is kind of the part where all logic goes out of the window for the sake of just explaining how the plot works. She breaks up with him because she's Sex Hulk, but the professor kisses her one last time. Which does not trigger her transformation. Because, you know, apparently she doesn't feel love when being kissed by a person who can trigger her simply by saying the right things or singing about her. Which means either it's not really that consistent how much love it takes in order to freaking trigger her transformation, or, you know, delayed reaction because plot convenience.
How are you feeling, Professor?
We end the episode with Professor showing that he's also looking for a cure and this gag.
And so, once again, the professor is single.
I do like the ending gag. Although I will say that for the most part, this episode was a fairly predictable mess. I feel like the plot of the episode took a backseat to establishing character, really establishing two characters, if you count a little bit of development for the professor. I do like the implications of the ending, by the way, that maybe we could see sort of a return to this concept a little bit, with it a little bit more fleshed out. I like that. In the end, though, like I said, a lot of it was predictable, and there were places where the unpredictability was really for the worse. And I will say this, it being kind of a paint-by-numbers sort of thing works better, considering the concept was a little bit more unique to work with.